What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment, a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on,
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Adam should take out the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of a big leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match.
14.
Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
This is SportsRage. I'm Gabriel Morency. Cam Stewart's telling us Carolina's going to beat the Saints in week one now. It just keeps getting better and better.
Now you and Kurtz are like, yeah, it's like Carolina sucks. Hey, I'm just going to say this, and I'll say it for the final time. Let's get off this damn Panther train. I just think the Panthers will have a better record than the Saints. I'm not saying they're going to be world beaters or anything like that, and I think they get their wins over 5.5. That's all I think they're going to. That's it. And the discussion.
They play in week one. Big game for both of them. Big game to set the tone.
I've already
Big game to set the tone.
With the
Panthers
spread,
are +5.
Yep.
Saints are -220. Kurtz, if you were playing Survivor, would you play the Saints as your pick in week one?
There's only two games I like in week one. I mentioned Cincinnati over New England. That's the easy one. I think if you want to win Survivor, you do need to take some chances like this, especially early on where you can get rid of a team that you're never going to be on one pick again, right? Saints are at home.
Carolina 19, Saints 16. There goes your Survivor in 1 week. It's a divisional
game. I'm terrible Survivor anyway. I am awful on Survivor.
You know. Now, here's the deal. Saints are favored, but they're not. Like, you can't, like, you're relying on the Saints in the first week. There's got to be another mid-tier team that you could take. That
in week one. In week one,
there's no divisional games. Don't take divisional games in Survivor. They hate each other. The point spread means nothing.
There's no big point spreads. There's no big point spreads in week one. The Bengals are the biggest favorites at 9. The Bills are 6.5 point favorites. It's all very evenly matched in week one. Kansas City -3 against the Ravens.
Who are you taking?
Well, people are going to think outside the box, right? The sharp people, the people with all these entries are going to be like, they're going to think outside the box.
Who are we taking?
Obviously,
Miami?
If you take Cincinnati, you have to look at Cincinnati's schedule for the rest of the year and say, all right, is that the spot? Is this the team you want to use? But I don't have any problem with it, Kurtz. I've heard like smart people saying, oh, you can't take Cincinnati. It's too obvious in week one. You got to not take them and hope that they lose because everyone's going to take them. I would argue, what better week are you going to have to use Cincinnati that it'll be an ultimate lock when you're playing for $10 million, right? You're looking for a lock.
There would be other weeks. There would be other weeks for Cincinnati. I understand that. But if you want to make sure you go to week 2, take Cincinnati.
There's always upsets, Kurtz.
I think there is upsets. Like, how about the Bears?
A lot of people.
Game? That's different. Like, that's a different game.
A lot of people will take the Niners. A lot of people will take the Niners against the Jets on Monday night. They're 5-point favorites in that football game.
Now, we don't know what's going on with Ayuk. Aaron Rodgers. No, I'm not touching that. There's way too much crap going on in that game. Nope.
That's why you're not in the contest, Kurtz.
You look at
What are the Seahawks over Denver?
How about Seattle over Denver? Yeah, Seattle over Denver's got to be a top 5 game.
You don't want to use Seattle too much. I know, but the game's right. Like, it's my feeling too. Is it heartburn or is it the Seahawks could lose? I'm telling you,
that game's a toss-up.
Carolina, Seattle with Denver's the same thing. At home and not a divisional game. Actually, I might like Seattle with Denver, and this way, if I lose, I can yell at Cam. I like Seattle with Denver more than New Orleans over Carolina. Not a divisional game. That's a big
popular game. Like, what would be if you're going to look for some weird kind of chalky game, the Bears home opener against Tennessee, I guess you could look at. Like, other than that, what? Tell me what you're going to do.
I'm not doing
games right. 2-point spreads. Eagles 2 over the Packers. Dolphins 3.5 Jags. Who's this? Kansas City even 3 against the Ravens. That's no lock. Falcons 2 against the Steelers.
I'll tell
Saints,
people.
5 against Panthers. What are you going to do?
I'll tell people what I'm going to do after I did it when my picks are in and the market is closed. We're playing for $10 million. I can't reveal my strategy. I mean, it's one of those deals. Exactly. Like, I have to wait. And in these contests, I always do that. Once the market is closed and you can't get the picks in anymore, I know that there's not a million people out there that are like, oh, I'm going to wait and see where Morency's taking in the contest. No, but at the same point in time, I'm not just going to come out, oh, you should do this and do that and think of this and that. We're playing for $10 million here. I'll tell people on week 1 Friday nights when it's already in, when it's already done. That's why with the super contest, historically, guys, they always release the plays, right? Saturday afternoon at like 2 o'clock. They'll post everybody's picks and the consensus picks and everything, and you can see what everybody played, which honestly, it's another strategy for people tuning in here right now, guys. And everybody's got a big ego in sports betting and thinks they know it all, and people at home think they know it all, and the sharps in Vegas think everybody thinks they know everything, but it's okay to know that some people are better than you and or are really good, and these contests will reveal people's picks, right? So you can see in the super contest, you can see, man, this team, these guys or these girls, whatever, this team, they're winning like 70% of their bets this year. And you can track it, and you can look it up and say, all right, who do they take, and what are the consensus picks? And you can actually follow like really hot people, and you almost let them do the work for you almost. You know what I mean? If you're a casual person, like I said, like one thing I'll tell you though, it's kind of unique. It's like the public trap. It used to be a really big deal. The Superbook 5 consensus picks. And everyone around America and the radio stations and everyone would always be like, oh, these are what the best gamblers in Vegas picked as their 5 best bets. And it would always, and they don't win. And because why? They're not really the 5 best bets. They're always just the 5 biggest dogs. So the consent, I can tell you what a consensus pick is going to be. Like, nobody wants to lay points in these contests. Everyone's like, oh, I'll take the underdog. I'll take the underdog. I'll take the underdog. I'll take the underdog. So the consensus pick is always underdogs. So I've noticed that, those 5 consensus picks aren't so great all the time, right? So there's a real subculture to all these contests, guys. Like there's podcasts, man, that only talk about the contest during the year and who's doing what and who's terrible and who to play and who to fade. And like, you know what I mean? It's a fascinating world, the contest world. And like I said, it's never been bigger than it is this year. With $10 million in the Survivor and $6 million in the other one. Your Cowboys, Kurtz, are 1.5-point road underdogs in Cleveland in week 1. The Rams in Detroit. There's an upset one if you want to be ballsy. Roll out like the Rams to beat the Lions in a Survivor in week 1.
I don't even mind. That's bold.
Take the over. I'll take the over in that game.
It's a revenge spot.
Yes.
It's 51, Kurtz.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that high. I just looked on it. I was thinking it was going to be 48. 51 and a
That's
half.
the best
Okay,
game.
maybe not.
Kurt's in the contest doing totals. Like, hey, sir, you need some sides.
I said, Kurtz doesn't have the heart for the contest. Like, he stresses out Yankee games. I'd imagine a $10 million.
Which is why I would gamble. I would gamble and probably take Seattle. I wouldn't take Cincinnati because I don't do well.
Seattle,
anyway.
huh?
And might as well get rid of the teams I'll never pick again.
I like Seattle to win the game, but there's no loss against Denver.
I just can't get it right.
Right?
The best I've done Survivor ever is maybe week 8, week 9. I just can't get it.
See, I don't know, man. Laying points with Seattle at home, I prefer them on the road.
Denver's not going to be a good team. They're not going to be a good team. Seattle at home. Seattle takes care of business week 1.
I'm not the biggest. I'm not the biggest Bronco fan. I'm sort of whatever on Sean Payton. And speaking of Sean Payton, shout out to Megan Payton, who I was a big fan of. And I saw her tweet today.
That was funny.
You saw? I even retweeted. I tweeted to her. She responded.
I replied back to her.
Kay Adams has Sean Payton, Coach Sean Payton, on the Kay Adams show in the morning, and she tweeted out tonight, "What question? What would you like me to ask Coach Sean Payton?" And Megan Payton said, "How come he doesn't return his texts?"
That's amazing.
I got to tell you though, as a father of two daughters, by the way, I'm on Team Sean here. All right, I don't return all the texts either. That's crazy.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get 2, he gets the lot.
Adam should take out the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot on the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Ian Cameron, a.k.a. Babano, will join us shortly. Let's get to a best of X. Crazy story that I saw today out here. And let's get this video up and running, and I'll let it speak for itself as we roll it. Let's do it. So this is some wild stuff here. So you see this woman at a chess tournament. puts a bag under the desk, and then you see her roll up here on the chess pieces. She's poisoning the chessboard to destabilize her opponent mid-match in Russia. Some hardcore stuff. Chess isn't the Hunger Games. Chess champion Amina Abravolkoka was caught on the video smearing mercury on rivals' chess pieces, causing her to have a near heart attack, like at the table. She had to be hospitalized. Then she came back and finished second place in the tournament. And here's the woman that actually did it there. Man, these Russians and their poison, man. Some hardcore poison stuff. Mm-hmm. And I tell you what, the chess world is insane. And she admitted to police after that she did it. She did not deny it. She was filmed appearing to smear mercury from a thermometer on a chair before a match. Asimova began feeling ill after sitting down and had to be summoned to the emergency room for medical assistance. You got to love Russian law, though. If you're an American journalist, they'll lock you up for life. If you're an opponent to Putin, you're done. But if you poison someone in a chess tournament, she faces up to 3 years in jail. Wow. You're like, figured it'd be a little bit more severe than 3 years, and she's probably not going to even do time. They were saying that whatever.
It's a poison. Like things.
Yeah, they don't
you could have reacted even worse than that. I know they're known for this with Ryson and all the other stuff they got going on. They're very good at this.
She faces up to 3 years in prison, and she does face a lifetime ban from the chess world. And I talked about a chess story. I talked about a chess story like last year that was made international headlines about accusations of a guy who put a remote control device in his anus. And so he's sitting at the table and it's broadcast, and somebody else was giving him what artificial intelligence would play. Like, what's the ultimate smart move? And they were doing it by buzzing inside him, so to speak. Now, there were real accusations, and remember, they believed it because the guy played a perfect game of chess that was impossible to play. So they were like, this is impossible that you just did this, so we know you're up to something. And he got accused of that, and, he pulled his pants down. He said, oh, you want to search me? And they actually came up. He had to walk through like a device and everything the next time he played. They didn't trust him. The chess world is incredibly corrupt and crazy. Like, I don't know how much money is at stake here either in this chess world, but it's pretty clear that they'll do anything to win. And the Russians have always been the best at chess. But I want to see, how much does the world chess champion make?
Very proficient poisoners too. They're very good at it.
I'm gonna say the top chess player in the world makes like $5 million a year.
I'm thinking more. With all the crazy tournaments. Yeah, it's got like 10. I don't know. What do you think? 5? You say over.
$200,000 to $750,000. Grand Chess Masters. So they're saying not even in the million range.
Wow.
Let's see. But you see, it can make a couple $100,000 to a whopping. Oh, they're saying some players have made $50 million though.
There you go.
Like Gary Kasparov is like one of the kingpins of all time. Babano steps up and then. Babano, you a chess master or are you a checkers guy?
That's ridiculous. How are these guys making more than CFL quarterbacks? That's ridiculous. You're sitting at a chair and you're thinking, my goodness. How about some physical work?
It's harder.
Quarterback.
It's harder, Babano.
Impossible. Yeah. I love you, Babano. God, yes. How's Boris making more than CFL quarterbacks? Thank you.
I'm looking at the grand.
That's the problem with
the money.
Society's forgotten physical labor, physical work. We just sit on our ass and do our jobs now. Come on.
Hey, chess is not. Hey, dude, you have to be a brainiac to
God,
be a chess
Babano. I figured, what a terrible take by Babano. I'm not a chess player because it's too hard, Cam. I don't even like this guy's like, oh, chess.
I used to play chess as a child. I never poisoned
Chess
anybody.
is like for the great brainiacs of the world, bro. It's like the ultimate thinking man's game. How do they make more than a quarterback? Because a quarterback's a dumb jock, Babano. That's why. Like, there's like, I don't understand like what part of that you don't get.
Physicality and labor and putting in some hard, work.
I do too. It doesn't mean you should
mental work,
chess
mental miles.
for being. They're two separate arguments. Like, the rook goes here and the knight goes up a couple and across. Yeah, it's strategy, baby. Yeah. Just like football plays, Babano. You got to have strategy.
That's why it's interesting to ask people a non-sports question. You'll get like some answers where it'll be very baffling back to you. So you don't want smart people in the air traffic control tower, Babano. You prefer like
chess,
there's a value to smart people in the world.
For the common good, what is playing chess going to do for the common good? What's it going to do for your neighbor? Playing chess and being awesome at chess and being a great all-time thinker at chess.
It's literally one of the most popular games in the world and like things in the world.
Rain. It's for to show you like your how smart you can.
Yeah, but I don't need to make $1 million to play
everything.
chess. That's the point. Yeah.
I'm seeing here just for the record, like I said, like you got to win the tournaments to get paid. So like the World Championships, it was like $5 million for the tournament. So like I said, you can cash in large on a tournament. Here's what $2.5 million, the FIDE World Championships. $2.5 million to the winner.
And the poisoning. Yeah. It's craziness.
Wow. Anytime there's money at stake in anything, you'll cheat.
Money, come on.
Yep. Good point. Battle.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Should take it the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of a big flag.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Our poll question: do you have a gambling problem if you're betting on Little League World Series games? No, 54%. Yes, 45% right now. So it's relatively split. Relatively split and close. What do you think, Babano? I know you were polling for Team Canada today out of Surrey, BC.
Yeah, I did, because one of our guests on the Ice Guys show last year, Jordan Kristanovich's son Caden plays for the team, and he made a hell of a catch during that game as well, but they got smoked by Chinese Taipei. They're always up against it, Canada. As good as the Canadian teams are in this country, when they play the U.S. and the international teams in the Little League World Series, it's tough for them. But my answer is, I think it's okay to bet on Little League World Series, quite honestly. I have no issue with it. I'd do it if I found an edge.
The Las Vegas Raiders equipment manager for like the last 20 years is actually a Little League coach in Vegas, and now out of Henderson, and they actually won today, so they're playing New York. I saw they were celebrating. Now they got New York coming up. I actually have lines, Babano, believe it or not. I looked at it all. I looked at a book that I figured they might have it. They didn't. Some do, some don't. But just for the record, tomorrow, for those of you hypothetically out there, Cuba minus 425 against the Czech Republic. I brought it up earlier. That's the lock of the day. You got Nevada versus New York will be a fun game. Japan, and listen, Japan always make it to the Final Four. Chinese Taipei and Japan, they're low to deal with, so they will beat Puerto Rico. So that's some hardcore stuff if you want to do a parlay. Japan and Cuba tomorrow. Little League World Series action. But Battle college football is rapidly approaching. We'll get to golf coming up in a couple of minutes. But what do you have college football plays? Have you put any more totals in, bets? The season starting in less than 2 weeks. To make the playoffs, it's time to start to get to make the playoff bets in actually right now as well.
Well, since you started there or mentioned it, to make the playoff bets, yeah, there's a bunch of those. I'm believing in Alabama still. I mean, the last I checked, they're getting a pretty damn good head coach in Kalen DeBoer. I mean, all this talk about, well, you got to replace Nick Saban. You're not replacing him with chopped liver. You're replacing him with a guy that's have an amazing win-loss record in his career, going back to Division II, Division III. He's a guy that took Washington to the national championship game. He's a guy that works well with quarterbacks. Look what he did with Michael Penix Jr. I think he can do great things with Jalen Milroe. In fact, I think Jalen Milroe is going to have a very good season here with Alabama. Now, the schedule's tricky. It's the new look SEC. I get it. Won't be easy games. But I think Alabama, getting them at close to even money, even plus money, to make the playoff. I believe in this coach. I believe that he'll be able to carry on what Nick Saban left behind. So I like Alabama to make the playoff. Good price on a team that we know for the last 15 years has been right there.
I will start off by agreeing with Babano on this one. I'm high on Alabama as well. They really, they lost a couple of players, but the players that they lost, they were able to bring in and replace. And I talked about it last night with Bama, about Bama. Kalen DeBoer brought in a bunch of players from Washington as well. Washington lost to Michigan in the national championship game last year. Alabama lost to Michigan in the Rose Bowl last year. Kalen DeBoer basically told the Bama kids, hey, you guys lost to Michigan in the Rose Bowl. I lost to them in the freaking national championship game. If you want to stay and beat them, let's stay and do this together because we all have the same interest at heart here. And it just resonated with everybody. And he brought in a couple of kids from Washington. He mixed them together. I'm a big Jalen Milroe fan as well, Babano. I think he's going to be like a top 10, top 7 pick. I think he's going to be a big-time NFL draft pick. Look what, and they lost Saban, but their offense is going to be way better, Babano and Cam. Like you said, look, Kalen DeBoer's an offensive genius. Dude, their offensive coordinator last year was Tommy Rees. All right, come on. So you have Tommy Rees, and Nick Saban's an offensive guy that had nothing to do with the offense, and we'll let the OCs do their thing. Now you got Kalen DeBoer, who lit it up with Michael Penix in Indiana, lit it up in Washington. Any quarterback that's ever been with DeBoer has been a big-time producer. They got stud wide receivers. They're super stacked, and the best part is, Babano, they're getting plus money. I'm seeing a plus 110, plus 120 for Alabama to make the playoffs.
Also,
and 10-2 will get them in. Like 3 teams are going to get in from the SEC. So all they got to do is just battle in the SEC, which they can. Their schedule is tricky, but it's manageable. And they get Georgia in Tuscaloosa. The game is in Alabama. They go to Wisconsin. It's a winnable game. They go to Tennessee, a winnable game. They go to LSU. They go to Oklahoma. But all these games are winnable for them.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on,
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Should take it the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of a fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
I like where Urbano was going with Alabama to make the playoffs with this expanded 12-team playoff field. We're going to have 3 SEC teams in the field. We're going to have 3 Big Ten teams in the field. You know, there was a reason they expanded it. It was for more SEC and more Big Ten teams. 10-2 will be the cutoff, basically, because there's going to be multiple 10-2 teams, and it's going to be head-to-head. Right, it's going to be a real battle this year. Really fascinating college football season coming up with the new playoff format. No one knows, 12 teams. There's still the committee still. There's automatic bids, but we're still going to have the voting. There's still the committee. So these guys, these son of a bitches won't give up their power. They're like, yeah, okay, expand your playoffs. We're still going to vote on who gets in. Right, like that's the whole thing. It's not like a clean cut like NCAA tournament. Like, oh, you're in. You win and you're in. If you win your conference, you're in, but they're only giving 5 conference winners a bid. And there's also redefined print. There's no limit to one conference and how many teams they can have in it either. So it's going to be, you can almost spell it out. 3 SEC teams, 3 Big Ten teams, Big 12 champ, ACC champ, AAC champ, Notre Dame, and then you get your sort of wild cards, the Liberties, and a team that I want to bring up here, guys. Great odds right now. Nobody's going to talk about them because they're not a power, but they don't need to be a power. They get an automatic bid if they win their conference, and they're the best team in their conference, and that's UTSA. It's pretty insane to say this, but the UTSA Roadrunners very might well be in the college football playoffs this year, guys. For real.
Yep, they could.
And they're like such a new program, and not like this, like, oh, juggernaut program, but because of the format that it is. And you know this, Babano. And I remember talking about Memphis with you last year. And I said, you know, Babano, Memphis are building up to make the playoffs next year. And a lot of people looked at me at the time, well, Memphis made it. And I was like, I don't think they understand the format. You got Tulane, you got UTSA, and you got Memphis. And hey, one of those 3 teams, they can get in. Tulane just lost their star quarterback and a lot of players. I'm not buying into Tulane.
But made a great hire. Great hire in Sumrall.
They
did an amazing job in Troy. Amazing.
They did. And they're going to keep it going. But I'm just stating, it's not quite, they're not quite the team to beat. Memphis are loaded. They brought in the Tennessee Volunteers leading tackler. They got the South Carolina Gamecock leading rusher. Like, they literally went in all in. Like, the coach admitted it. He goes, we're like, it was our version of Ohio State. We think we can make the playoffs. We've gone all in on this. We got our quarterback back. We think we can do this and win the conference and make the playoffs. And I would like to buy in, guys, but their schedule is a bitch. It's really, really hard. All their tough games are on the road. And I just sort of fell into UTSA, and I'm like, oh, my God, UTSA are plus 1,200 to make the playoffs. Dude, they got like 14 returning starters. They're locked and loaded. They're ready to go. Manageable schedule. For those of you out there looking for a nice little payday, UTSA to make the playoffs, plus 1,200.
Their toughest game is they play the Texas Longhorns, Gabe, in Austin. Other than that, you can look at their schedule and go, it is manageable. I agree.
And when you look at the other teams, guys, Memphis has a loaded offense. They haven't been able to stop anybody for years. Maybe the defense, this is the year they'll be better, but they've never been great on defense. I'm not a big fan of their coach.
But Banno, you know what? They literally brought in like 19 transfer portal defensive players. Like, they seriously, like they're aware their defense sucked. You know what I mean?
They were aware, but was the chemistry going to fit? Is the chemistry going to be right is the question. Their offense is great. Hennigan's good at quarterback. They got weapons galore. The O-line's loaded. They'll score just like they did last year, but I got to see it with the defense. I'm not the biggest Brian Silverfield fan, their coach. I think Mike Norvell had that program just set on a platter for him, and I don't know if he's really elevated it. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Memphis. I would try to beat the favorite in the AAC if you're betting on a team to win that conference and or make the playoff. I'd look at UTSA a little bit. I'd even look at a team like East Carolina, not for the playoff maybe, but to win the conference. I think they're going to be a lot better. But UTSA's got Owen McCown. Remember, Frank Harris is finally gone, but Owen McCown played in the bowl game, and he played pretty well. They like him. And you know this is a great coach, Jeff Traylor. He's done an amazing job with the Roadrunners. UTSA should be a very good football team, very capable of upending Memphis if those defensive woes clear their ugly head again.
The game versus Memphis, Baban, as we talked about, similar to Alabama, they get Memphis at home, which is very, very important. That Texas game, they're hosting. So what do you think, Gabe? They lose one game? UTSA will probably lose like one game, maybe two tops?
The thing with Memphis, they got to go to Florida State. Like I said, like, it's going to be, to get into the playoff, like, they're going to need to have an impressive run as well. And they're going to get beat up along the way by some of these teams. Like, the non-conference games are okay, but they're going to get punched in the mouth. And then after that, they got to play Navy after. They're going to bounce back. But same with UTSA. They could lose the Texas game and still get in. It's a non-conference game for them. You know, that's always the key to this. If you're going to lose, you lose the non-conference game. And, you know, same with Michigan. All the hype about the Texas game, it really doesn't mean that much in the end. Like Michigan, you win the Big Ten, you're in the playoff. You finish second in the Big Ten, you're in the playoff. You finish third in the Big Ten, you're in the playoff. So, and whether Michigan loses by 50 to Texas, it affects zero effect of their Big Ten standings, right? Like the non-conference aspect of this stuff is really, really big when you're betting this. You got to remember that. But I'm telling you, Memphis are going to be a fun football team. I just think UTSA's schedule lines up a little bit easier. The fact that they host Memphis, but that's going to be a massive game. The other one, too, is Liberty. Like, these Memphises and UTSAs are automatically getting a bid. They're going to get in no matter what. Liberty doesn't get in no matter what. Liberty, there's going to be one spot. Yeah, there's one spot for the Cinderella, you know what I mean, the whatever team. And
you can't send a one-loss or two-loss Liberty team, Gabe, with that crap-ass schedule. They have to run. No,
they need to be 12-0, bro.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, they went 12-0 last year, right? So, and they got 17 returning starters. So I don't really see they have a couple of the App State game, but I love Liberty over 10.5. Maybe they lose one game this year, but if they run the table, I don't know if they get in. Like Babano just said, guys, they have the 134th easiest schedule in college football, and there's 134 teams in college football. It's going to be hard to impress the committee and say we're worthy of the playoffs when we played the softest schedule in college football. So the only way Liberty can pull this off, they need to run the table, and they need to absolutely annihilate teams along the way. So they're going to be a play-on team as far as covering spreads. They're going to go over, you know what I mean? They're going to run the scores up when they can. Yep. They know this. But personally, guys, I'd say the other team that's sort of that dark horse this year, and I'll get their odds up to make the playoffs, is Boise State. They have a good chance of being that sort of that invite that gets in here. They got to invite one of these teams, and a 1 or 2 loss Boise State team could have a more impressive resume than Liberty, guys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what about them. This coach that's there now, he took over last year. He did a great job when they made the coaching change. Spencer Danielson, the kids responded to him right away. They really like Malachi Nelson transferring in from USC. And even if he struggles, Maddox Madsen's got experience. Ashton Genty, this running back, you're going to want to watch out for him. He's phenomenal. They're going to have an amazing run game. The quarterback position is solidified. The O-line's strong. The defense is bringing back most of their players. There's a reason why they're expected to win the Mountain West. And if they do, they have a very good chance to be in the playoffs. So I don't mind taking that price with the Boise State Broncos. That's a very good Mountain West, though. Don't discount Fresno. Even with Jeff Tedford stepping aside.
They don't get an automatic bid in the Mountain West, though. No. Should be noted. They don't get an automatic bid. They're part of the invite crew. But if you look at Boise State's schedule.
The job he's done with UNLV, too.
Oh, yeah. If you look at Boise State's schedule, they open up with Georgia Southern. They go to Eugene to play the Ducks, but after that, Portland State, Washington State, Utah State, Hawaii, UNLV, San Diego State, Nevada, San Jose State, Wyoming, Oregon State. They should run the table. Like, they should end up with 1 loss.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment, a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on, Kerry.
He doesn't just get 2, he gets the lot.
Should take it the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of a big flag.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match.
14.
Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
All right, the golf season is winding down with the FedEx Cup playoffs, and they got a bunch of tournaments. Nobody really fully gets it. Golf is never really, no one's really ever embraced this FedEx Cup. Let's just call it out for what it is. From a public standpoint, right? No one cares. It's like, oh, he's a FedEx Cup champion. But the players care because it's a hell of a lot of money to win this thing. So it is a prestigious, it's prestigious to win. But it's very similar to like NASCAR. Certain sports, it's hard for the common fan to get the playoff. What do you mean 4 drivers can only win, but they're all on the track? And, this guy's eliminated. They got to finish in the top 2. It's like it starts to get convoluted for people. But here we go. They're playing for big-time money. And this has been one of the greatest golf seasons ever as far as play is concerned. So you got Scotty Scheffler, who's had one of the greatest golf seasons ever. You got Xander Schauffele, who's had one of the greatest golf seasons ever. You know, Scheffler with 2 majors, gold medal. Schauffele with two majors. Rory keeps knocking on the door. Here he is. And this is the type of thing that, I don't know, there's a little less pressure. There's only money at stake. It's more Rory's wheelhouse. Morikawa always gets hype. Hideki Matsuyama, Patrick Cantlay, Ludwig Aberg. You got them all here, man. All the top players are here. So who you taking, Cam?
Quick story, Hideki Matsuyama and his crew lost their passports. His coach and staff and training, all his guys are gone. So I guess he's going to pick up a caddy from one of the other guys there. Yeah, Gabe, after the Olympics, passports, they gone. So Hideki is alone without his caddy and team. But it doesn't really matter. Let's go. I'm going to go to my winners, Gabe. I'm only going to give you four this time because it's a 70-guy tournament. Might add one. Patrick Cantlay at 22-1. My first pick, though, is Ludwig Aberg. It's a great price for him at 20-1. By the way, he's been knocking on the door. One bad shot, he could have won the Masters. We talk about a guy that's consistently inside the top 10. I think he's had some time to wait, relax. Didn't go to the Olympics. This is the thing about this guy. I think he's one of those best players not to win something, and this course really sets up for him. Gabe, you made a great comment off air about Corey Connors ball striking. That's what Ludwig Aberg is all about too. The problem with him is sometimes his putting goes a little bit cold, but sometimes it's really hot. If he can put it together for 4 days, he can win 20-1. Patrick Cantlay, I mentioned this before. This guy lost in a playoff at this very same course before, consistently top 5 here. He's got to make a statement. His buddy Schauffele is running away with things, and Cantlay might be getting a little bit jealous. So it's time for Patrick Cantlay to show up at 22-1. Billy Horschel is one of the hottest players in the universe right now. All he does is make money. Could have won last week. Things got a little bit crazy at that tournament. They had to play 36 holes in a very short period of time. Watch out for Horschel, who has multiple. Every time he plays at this course, he's been inside the top 25, 45-1. And Gabe, one of our favorites, SEC time with Sepp Straka at 6. I found a 66-1, but I bet it at 60. I should have waited. The lines went up on one of my books. Sepp Straka is a very dangerous player. He's also lost in a playoff at this course before. Top 5s, Scotty Scheffler. Hey, we bet minus 115 on a baseball game or a money line on a football game. I'll take Scheffler top 5. And Gabe's boy, Schauffele, Xander Schauffele top 5 plus 135. I like that price a lot. Top 10, a lot of people like Colin Morikawa to win. He's been very close, but he can't seem to sink that putt at the right time. I will take him plus 105 for a top 10. Love it. Sanjay M was right he got a chance to win last week, a little bit faltering down the stretch, but this is a nice ball striker's paradise too. Plus 240 for a top 10. Bezoutenhout, top 20, plus 120. Thompson's Water Seal, Davis Thompson, very, very hot player. And Gabe, I made a mistake on my board. I actually found Eric Cole at plus 240. Plus 190 is what I put on the Chiron. But Eric Cole for a top 20. He had the low round at the tournament last week and slipped inside the top 15. Great price for Eric Cole at a shorter course. Plus 240 for the top 20. What else do we got? First round leaders, we love them. Aberg, 25-1. We got Horschel, 35-1. We got Cam Young, gagged the tournament away last week. What is this guy doing? Always shows up in the first round, Thursday, Friday, Saturday Warrior. Ashke Bhatia, saw an interview with him, very hungry this week at 50. Eric Cole, I'm going to take him all over the board. And this one's for you, Babano, your neighbor from Dundas, Ontario, Mackenzie Hughes, 85-1, first round leader. Thanks, Gabe.
I've got 3 quick plays. You know what? I've been leaving this money on the table too much with Scotty Scheffler. The guy's won 7 of the last 12 tournaments that he's been in. Plus 350. Now the playoffs start. He wants to send a message. I wouldn't be surprised if he just wins again. So I'll say Scotty Scheffler at the top here at plus 350. But the 2 sort of shots I like, I think Corey Connors. So I'm going to play some Corey Connors, top 20s. I'll get the finishing positions up here. But I like Corey Connors. And another guy I like at the same odds. So Corey Connors, let's take Corey Connors to win at 28-1. And let's go with Russell Henley at 33-1. Those will be my 2 sort of long shots at, hey, 33-1's our lucky numbers. We gave you Lydia Ko last week in the Women's Olympics at 33-1. We'll get Babano's picks in a second. We got Brady Cannon's picks here. Brady Cannon couldn't be with us tonight, but he shared his picks with us. Colin Morikawa, Hideki Matsuyama, Russell Henley, Billy Horschel, Ben Griffin. So he's got Morikawa, Hideki Matsuyama, Russell Henley, and so I'm on Henley too. I didn't know he liked Henley. Billy Horschel and Ben Griffin. He's also got some Liv Greenbrier stuff for us. Bryson DeChambeau at 7-1, Joaquin Neiman at 7-1, and Abraham Answer at 40 to 1. But Bano, what do you got for us?
We've got some common picks. My guy's on Russell Henley. Kick them when they're up, kick them when they're down. Plus 3,500 with Russell Henley. We've got Corey Connors, 30 to 1. And then we've got Billy Horschel at 45 to 1. Austin Eckroat, 140 to 1 as a bit of a longer shot. And also Tom Kim at 30 to 1. So that's what the golf guy's on. Shorter card.
Yeah, Tom Kim's another trendy pick, it seems. People like Tom Kim this week.
It's hard for Tom Kim. He's been one of those guys. He should be doing a little bit better closing the door. Gabe, I found Connors for a top 10 at plus 220. And for a top 20, basically pick them juice, minus 110 for a top 20. Nothing wrong with that. Corey Connors.
Top 20, Corey Connors. And top 20, Russell Henley.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You might have to lay a little bit of juice, but not much.
Our boy Matthew George, who used to do Monday nights with us, still on the grid, does serious stuff too. He's got some golf picks for us. He's been killing it. We'll get his picks on the other side. But he's got Ben Griffin on his ticket as well. Some Ben Griffin love out here, 150 to 1. Davis Thompson, 75 to 1. Taylor Pendrith, 100 to 1. We'll hit this some more on the other side. Our boy Ghoster's in the house with some picks in the chat.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment, a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on,
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Should take it the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of a three flag.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the jockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Shout out to our boy Matt George. So as I was saying, he says, I hate betting on favorites, so here goes some long shots. All great ball strikers. Davis Thompson, 75 to 1. Taylor Pendrith, 100 to 1. Ben Griffin, 150 to 1. JT, 40 to 1. Says he has to put 4 rounds together soon. Does he? And Adam Scott, 50 to 1. There's our boy Matt George. Good luck, Matt. They said, I'm going to go with Pendrith. Everyone's on Pendrith, but I'm going with the other Canadian. Corey Connors, top 20. Little sprinkle first-round leader as well on Henley, Connors, and both top 20s. And like I said, I don't like the plus 350, but Scheffler seems to win all the time. I didn't think he was going to win a gold medal. I thought Xander was, and Scheffler freaking wins a gold medal again. So plus 350, you put in a parlay or something like that. Our boy Ghoster, good to see the chat rocking on Twitter tonight a little bit. Our boy Ghoster says he feels like it's Tom Kim's week this week. Of course, Ghoster likes Abraham Answer. He always likes Abraham Answer.
Live?
And he also likes Straka as well.
So do I.
So, here's his picks. I see here. He's talking about it. He's got a bunch of them sprinkled. I got to pick up the pace. But Bano, get a CFL pick ready here. We only got a couple of minutes. So he's going leg one. Come on, go. So you're killing me. You're like Babano. Ludwig Aberg, 24-1. Tommy Fleetwood, 25-1. Tom Kim, 33-1. He's got 1 million picks. Harmon, 70-1.
I know.
Bazhoudenhout at 75-1. First round leaders, Henley and Billy Horschel.
I got Horschel. Wow, I see Ghosters. Ghosters, it's like a chart game. It's like, it's a big one.
Ghoster's ready to rock. But battle, big week in the CFL this week. A lot of big games. Quarterbacks are back. Masoli. Funny, it would be a big story that Masoli's back, actually. But then you got Nate Rourke. Following the Edmonton media, Dave Campbell's a good follow from Chet, I think, and whatever the radio station is. But seems like Trey Ford is not going to play. Right? It was like, oh, maybe. And now it seems like, yeah, you know what? It's just, no. It's going to be Bethel Thompson. But Nate Rourke is back on Sunday. Big week this week in the CFL, Babano.
It is a big week. It's a great week. They're pretty much all good games. We're going to see what Jeremiah Masoli's made of. I like Calgary in the game. They're undefeated at home. I'm not going to overthink it, overcomplicate it. They're winless on the road. They're undefeated at home. It's been their best football at McMahon Stadium all year. I think -4 now. I'd be a little careful. I'd put them in a money line parlay now because I do think they're going to win. Ottawa's not been on the road in a month, you guys. Not in a month. And all their wins have been at home. So I'm worried about that. They've already lost to Winnipeg on the road earlier this season. Montreal as well. I think it's
they're
a tough
due to get
spot
smashed.
for Masoli in Ottawa. Yeah, I think Calgary's the side here in this one. As far as the rest of the games, I like Saskatchewan, believe it or not, to upset Montreal. I know Montreal's tough to bet against them, right? Pick them 8-1. Davis Alexander's been good, but on the road, Saskatchewan's defense is good. And look, Saskatchewan and Montreal dead to rights. Davis Alexander replaced Caleb Evans in the first meeting, and he went on fire in the second half. And Montreal came back and won. I think Saskatchewan avenges it. And then Saturday over in the Edmonton-Hamilton game. I don't want either side. I think there's still points. And then Winnipeg, BC. I like BC in the over.
You going to beat the game? Supporting your Ticats.
I will.
He's always in.
Taylor Powell.
You guys don't
look,
believe
I'm
in him
okay
very
with
much,
the
though. You're like, I don't want to bet on him. Just...
And interceptions for Bo Levi Mitchell is too many. I don't mind the change.
I just loved in the game. I'll still remember the Babano when they got the Rouge versus BC standing. Oh, I love the Hamilton people. They're just so beat down. Great people, though.
And the
Great
number,
fan.
we said it last night. We were talking about the BC game, and they were -1. It went from Winnipeg 3.5 to BC -1. And I said, by kickoff, it'll probably be BC -3. Seeing 1.5 right now, the book I'm looking at here.
Winnipeg winless on the road, BC undefeated at home. Keep that in mind.
Nate Rourke, too. He practiced for the first time today. It's a real whirlwind. He showed up last night. He practiced today. And word out of practice was just never missed a beat, slinging it around like he never left. I think he had like a 14-15 type of run without any incompletions. Everybody was like, wow, he's good to go. And it's one of the unique situations where he knows the offense. He knows the play.
Same OC,
like, here's the play.
Yeah.
Same coach, same everything. He's like, here's the playbook, bro. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. They said he was just working on the sidelines a little bit, like the extended field. You know, he told him I need to sort of get used to the bigger sideline again. But he's ready to go. And it could be one of these adrenaline rushes, too, just with the BC Lions this week. Since he's there, everyone's going to be all fired up in the crowd and all that. Vernon Adams is on board. Good thing if Vernon is on board. He understands not 100%. He could end up playing again. It's a long season. A lot of stuff could happen. And like somebody in the CFL told me tonight, they said he's owed a lot of guaranteed money. He's fine. Don't worry. Other than that, you're on your own later.
Yeah, guaranteed money's good.